Thursday night footy at Domain Stadium, definitely a rarity, but certainly a night to celebrate as the 2006 premiership reunion kicked off in style and the boys notched their 9th victory of the season against the struggling Bombers. Welcome to Eagle Review, proudly sponsored by Masters, backing us up still. For some reason, they're behind us. Benny Roberts, welcome. Talk to me about 06. I mean, the players, it was a great feeling having them in the warm-up room as soon as the current day squad came off and getting the cheers and getting the embrace from the players that they have played with or have admired over so many years.
All you can think when you look at it is how special it must be to play at a premiership, and especially at AFL level where the clubs do such a great job of keeping connected with past players, and if you're a premiership player, you've got a bond, and you could just see the bond with the boys. The first time probably a big bunch of them been together for a long time, and it was just so great to see them all and the boys buzzing because they were there, and they were buzzing because the boys were buzzing, and it was just buzz fest. It was great. So, yeah, a lot of good memories there for everyone.
Let's address the game, though. It was a shaky start, to say the least. The Bombers did kick accurately, but the first 2 goals of the game just failed to fire against a team where everyone thought it was going to be a walkover, and it was certainly anything but in the first quarter.
You know, it's tough coming off the byes. The teams often struggle coming off the byes. No excuses there, though. They should have been ready. But I guess it also just shows how tight AFL football is as well. And, you know, $1 favourites paying $21 favourites with tab touch, and they come out and, you know, are on top at the end of the first quarter. So tightness of the AFL comp, but certainly want to come out next week much more switched on.
Yes, it was a demolition last quarter too, where I think Essendon were waving the white flag in the end. Let's talk about the season debutants in Mitch Brown and first Pat McGinnity. I mean, he's a crowd and certainly a teammate favourite. Had a sensational game, was really all over the place. A couple of easy goals, but a couple of real hard-working assists and contests that were just hard as nails, and it's what you'd expect.
You know what you're going to... Everyone says you know what you're going to get with Ginner, but then you wouldn't have expected him to kick 4 goals. So he's pulled a rabbit out of the hat there, and he even said after the game, I don't normally get 4 kicks, let alone 4 goals, which I thought was quite humorous. Look, it's just great. He's a guy that everyone just loves to play with. He's going to give everything to the team, and that's going to make him be very popular.
Sitting on 91 games, was great to see him crack the ton for the Eagles. It was great that Chris Marston ended up giving him his first goal. They're best mates at the club. Don't think that wasn't planned from the get-go. Let's talk about Mitch Brown. We're aware of his versatility. We thought maybe throwing forward, that was an option, and we saw that real early. Had the chance to kick many goals, kicked none. But to see him being second fiddle in the ruck, that was a total surprise to the fans out there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people didn't see that one coming, and Brownie just adds another string to the bow. Just can throw him into the middle now, and just the big dog can go wild. And yeah, it's so good, like, you know, to see, like Brownie, especially over the last 18 months, had such a rough trot, and to see him be so professional and so caring and so team first still in times of adversity like that, it's tremendous to see him rewarded being back in the side. 91
games for Brown too. Great club man. Would great to see him get to 100. Let's talk about Jackson Nelson, another inclusion. He had a very interesting role. He was tagging Zaharakis, did an exceptional job. And is this just another avenue, Eagles exploring that nullifying role again?
Strings being added to bows left, right and centre. He was drafted as a defender and has, over the last sort of month or so, I would say, has been playing more midfield time at the Waffle, getting a lot of the footy and kicking goals as well. Last night went in as a mid and then ended up going into a tagging job, as you say, something different. Did a pretty good job too. Caught one for his trouble. Welcome to tagging, Jackson. But yeah, he did pretty well.
Yeah, freed up Hutch a bit, so it'll be interesting if they continue with that plan. Speaking of hitting someone, Mark Jamar, lucky he did his pinger, because I dare say he might get a week for that one on Gov. Gov, the tough man, hardly felt it, played through it.
Well, he thought, I better show a bit so I get the free kick, and then was like, no, hang on, I've got to look tough here, and came back and got in the face. He loves it, Gov, like getting in the grill. And it was good that Scully's pulled the angry man role away from himself this week, and Gov took the job this week. I wonder who it'll be next week.
Speaking of big hits, let's go on with another Gaffy getting absolutely slammed by Dempsey. Feared for his life for a little bit there.
The body, different weight divisions certainly, and momentum downwards on little Gaffy, it must be said. Yeah, heart and mouths. Hope Gaffy's folks weren't again worried for his safety.
Lycett, very good game. Rucked strongly throughout and certainly got a ton of disposals as well in comparison to the Essendon Ruck division, who were hobbled on the night, that has to be said. But you know we're in good touch when you slip over and you're sitting on your ass and you end up getting a hit out. So he was just seeing him from like a beach ball.
Yeah, it was bouncing his way and needed to stand up.
Give me your 3 votes, Benny. I want to know who you thought was best on the day.
Okay, well, I'm going to go a little bit left of centre. I'm going to go outside the square. I'm going to say, I'm going to give 3 to Mark Hutchings. I like Hutchie and I like what he did last night. Andrew Gaff had a lot of football. I think he had 35 disposals and just his tireless running is ridiculous. And I thought Gov was pretty good. I thought Gov rounding out the votes, a lot of good clunks and getting the job done. And I liked his angry man stuff too. So 1 vote to Gov.
Very much enjoyed the play where they went from full back to full forward in 5 kicks exactly. Rarity in AFL footy these days. That was certainly one to watch. Let's get into the roast of the round now, Benny.
This week, fertile crop this week.
Well, I guess so, but we can't roast anyone for another round because no other games yet, so it's got to be all in-house. But let's kick it off with, it's a harsh one. Will Schofield. It's the longest time in between drinks for any Eagle to kick a goal, so you think you have a shot. The smiles popped up straight away. Everyone knew, and he's just slammed into the woodwork, and you thought, oh, mate, you're going to have to wait another 3 seasons for a shot like that.
Close but no cigar. Yeah. But what about Brownie? We pumped him up earlier.
Oh, didn't the commentators pump him up hard too?
Yeah, and you put the mock on someone, the Masters mock on someone, they're bound to always let you down. But Brownie, it was so good to see him. I thought this will be a fairy tale. This will be, boys will stream towards him, big pack form and hands rubbing everywhere, and just shanked it. Yeah. A little bit of a shank, unfortunately, but hopefully he'll get another chance. Hopefully sometime soon. What about coin tosses, mate?
Yeah, this was an interesting one. So they had the lady do the coin toss, and she was raring to go. But then she turned to Brendan Goddard and said, heads or tails? And the umpire just had to quickly say, no, that's not your job. You just flip the coin, and we'll take care of the rest. You get it spinning well, and we will handle it from here.
The amount of people that stuff up a simple coin toss.
It'd be great to have a compilation, wouldn't it?
In different varieties is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Cripper. I love Cripper. He's one of my favourites.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. And after this goal, very stern looking, very serious apology. Sincere, it must be said. Hand out.
I thought he kicked it out of the full the way he was behaving.
Yeah, no, got the goal, but very sincere, saying that was not team first. Next time, I will be team first. I promise. That was a team first apology.
Well, let's get on to the next one. Gee, the age, they've had a bit of a mare here. How did Chris Lewis play in the 06 Grand Final? I don't remember him getting too many touches, Benny.
No, he didn't do too well. He probably had more beers than touches that night watching the game, but the age missed the mark here, shall we say.
Oh, right. It was Wirra who played in the 2006 Grand Final. I can see how you'd make that mistake just a decade out.
Easy. But the winner, and might I say, this is my favourite. I think my favourite of all time roast around winner.
It's good.
This is a cracker. So set the scene for you. You're a boundary rider in the state competition. You go up to the best on the ground after the game. You don't want to make a meal of it. And then this is what happens. See you next time.
Hi, boys. Here with... what have you done to your ankle?
Do you want to be a part of WA's more awesome squad? Prove it. You can win 5 tickets for you and mates to come to a West Coast Eagles home game. Just snap a photo of you and your other squad members, hashtag Masters Squad, and head to Masters Instagram or Facebook page to get the ultimate fan experience.